Hello everyone, I am Akshata Chavan. Department of Ancient Indian History, Culture and Archaeology had organized online international multidisciplinary webinar on recent trends and multidisciplinary approach in archaeology on 26th March 2022. The pattern of citations and study by many research and techniques used by the archaeologists from wider group of sources demonstrates clearly that archaeology draws upon many different multidisciplinary methods, approaches and questions to address its central point. The understanding of human lives through the study of material remains left from the past. Archaeology has the potential to provide new information on the human past, solidify one ties their social or international heritage, and provides various means to the location across the world. The department came up with theme of the webinar recent trends and multidisciplinary approach in archaeology. In this webinar, 4 renowned international speakers and archaeology experts have contributed through their insights and expert talks. There were more than 800 participants participate online in this conference. In the inaugural ceremony, Chief Patron of the webinar, Professor Dr. Mrunali Fadnavis, Honorable Vice Chancellor Punyashlok Ahilyadevi Holkar, Solapur University, said that university taking initiatives to boost multidisciplinary approach in higher education with many international platforms. Solapur district is a very enriched with many historical and archaeological sites. Multidisciplinary research in this area will explore the more characteristics of human in this region. Chief guest of the inaugural ceremony, Dr. Revant Vikram Singh, Director Swami Vivekananda Culture Center, High Commission of India, Colombo, Sri Lanka. He has mainly thrown a light on working of Swami Vivekananda Culture Center, High Commission of India at Colombo. He also said that India and Sri Lanka have many similarities in many cultural aspects. The collaborative activities and international platforms will provide more insights in archaeology.
Our culture center is an ideal Indian culture center of Indian Council for Culture Relations. It was established in 1998 under the aegis of the High Commission of India, Colombo, with the aim of building bridges of cultural exchange to revive and strengthen cultural relations between India and Sri Lanka. It seeks to promote India-Sri Lanka culture cooperation by building on cultural commonalities, people-to-people contact, and creating an awareness of Indian culture in all facets. The center offers classes in Bharatanatyam, Kathak, Hindustani and Carnatic music, violin, sitar, tabla, Hindi, yoga, Ayurveda, etc. Over the years, the center has gained tremendous popularity in Sri Lanka. We also organize programs such as exhibitions, seminars, workshops, food festivals, and other such cultural festivals using all software tools, engaging scholars, experts, artists, and academics from India and Sri Lanka. We also screen Indian films and documentaries and maintain a well-equipped library with over 1,000 of titles with online database of books, reading room, and online access to information about India and Indian journals, newspapers, periodicals, etc.
In the first session, Dr. Veena Mushrif Tripathi, anthropologist, assistant professor, Department of Archaeology, Deccan College Postgraduate and Research Institute, Pune, delivered her special lecture on anthropology for archaeology.
This is a map where you can see this Harappan sites like Lothal, then you are having Dhulavira, Surkothada here, then you are having Harappa here, Kalibanga. So all these places having skeletal collection. This is from the extended burial from Harappa. So north is this side, and with that you are having the pots. This is from Farmana. There are few pots near the head of the individual. This is twin burial from the Lothal, where 2 individuals are buried. And here you can see in Rakhi Gadi, this was excavated by Amindra Nath in 2000s, year 2000. So you can see there are so many burials, so many pots are buried along with this particular skeleton. Then coming to the Iron Age megalithic culture, so you are having like 1000 BC to 100 BC, like that is a big huge. So you are having very few habitation sites, and more number of burial sites.
In the second session, firstly Dr. Nasir Iskandri, Assistant Professor, Department of Archaeology, University of Tehran, Iran, and then Mr. Mohammad Amim Imami, Associate Professor of Mineralogy, Department of Conservation of Cultural Properties and Archaeometry, Art, University of Isfahan, Iran, gave detailed presentation on from Occident of Orient Interregional Exodus of Metallurgy in Southeast Iran.
This paper of the book, you can see how they transport raw materials from the downer part of the earth toward the upper part. And it means for us a huge technology which have been started just now, we can say, from 5,000 or 4,000 BC onwards. The archaeometallurgy will be considered by scientists in three parts: the methodology or the methods of our metallurgy, and the techniques which have been used by settlements or by the human being. And on the other side, the archaeological dating is very, very important, and it's very critical because in many aspects, the people, they told about what can be extracted and what have been extracted and what have been made. But the important thing is the when. And for the first, which alloys have been made. And after that, the alloying processes have been developed to the better condition of the alloying.
Actually, I contextualized the metal finds from Southeast Iran, and then Dr. Emami will continue about the technical processes, the manufacturing process, and other aspects of these metal objects. Here is a collection of the recovered finds from southeastern Iran archaeological sites, mostly from Bronze Age. This map shows the study area southeast of Iran. As you know, this part of Iran contains Indo-Iranian borderlands, and this area contains and accommodated different mines, including stone mines and metal mines, and especially Kerman region in southeast of Iran contains second largest lore of copper ore in the world.
In the valedictory ceremony, patron of the conference, Professor Dr. Vikas Patil, in charge Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Punyashlok Ahilyadevi Holkar, Solapur University, said the demand on learners and knowledge seekers is changing nowadays. Societies are expecting more innovative strategies and research in the archaeology. New education policy focused on multidisciplinary approach, and university is moving ahead with this policy.
Dear teachers, researchers, and scientists present for this virtual function. All of us aware that the higher education in India is in the tremendous mode of the transition. Infinite new trends have been emerging. Society and other stakeholders have been expecting more and more the innovative strategies or of the learning and knowledge from us. And today, this conference have given a very good treat for the young researchers also. These expectations were from us being teachers, researchers, as well as the PG or the UG students. Why? Because we are an important part of this teaching and learning processes. That is, we need to play the very crucial roles during these days. Under these circumstances, the topic of today's conferences, that is the recent trends and multidisciplinary approach in archaeology.
Chief guest of the valedictory ceremony, Professor Dr. Vasant Shinde, former Director General, National Maritime Heritage Complex, Lothal, former Vice Chancellor, Deccan College Postgraduate and Research Institute, Deemed University, Pune, has mainly thrown a light on recent archaeogenetic research on peopling and early genetic dispersal in South Asia.
Now, this is a very, very important issue in Indian archaeology. You know that the site of Rakhigadi is a very important site of Harappan civilization, perhaps the biggest Harappan city. And you know the significance of the discovery of the Harappan civilization exactly 100 years ago. We are celebrating the centenary year of the discovery of the Harappan civilization. And when it was discovered in the beginning, maybe in 20s, 1920s, it was considered to be the biggest archaeological discovery anywhere in 20th century. Not only because the Harappan civilization was contemporary to the Mesopotamian and Egyptian civilizations, but also before the discovery of the Harappan civilization, it was always thought that there's a big gap in the history of country. And some of the earlier historians, particularly Vincent Smith and other scholars who wrote books on early Indian history, they always mention that there's a big gap in the history of the country.
In this ceremony, Professor Dr. Gautam Kamble, Director School of Social Science, gave his remarks, and Dr. Maya Patil, Head of Ancient Indian History, Culture and Archaeology Department and the coordinator of the webinar, delivered introductory speech. Introduction of the guest given by Head of Mass Communication Department Dr. Ravindra Chinjolkar. Vote of thanks offered by Assistant Professor of Ancient Indian History, Culture and Archaeology Department Dr. Prabhakar Kolekar. An anchoring read by Assistant Professor of Mass Communication Department Ms. Tejaswini Kamble.